Alright, this probably seemed simple enough. There were a couple techniques you should have tried. Don't measure this and figure out the height when you can just simply select up to next. Hit preview and it finds that solid. So if you left it like this, you didn't do it right. You might think, well, maybe he wanted us to do plane. Up to plane. Sorry, let's go up to last. Preview that. Seems to do the same thing, and it also seems fine. Don't see any issues with it, do you? Okay, let's try this. Up to plane. Pick the plane here. Select OK. Now I'm truly linked to that plane. So under pad, I just showed you up to next, up to last, up to plane. Would up to surface work? Up to surface, select that surface there, select OK. They all seem to have the same results. Do you know which one is the one you should truly use for this scenario? Let's test this out. Let's go into Sketch 1. Let's move this up 2 inches. Oh shoot. Why? Where's my... Where is the dimension controlling this height? Oh, there it is. This is a terrible way to dimension this. I'm going to create a constraint on this edge, 0.75. No, 0.25. Okay, when I exit out, you'll see that the part got taller, and because I used surface, this pad on the inside knew to grow to that inside wall. That's because I used up to surface. Would up to plane have worked if I had that plane chosen and selected OK? And I come back into the sketch number 1 and I change this to 3 inches now and exit out. Sure. So it appeared that both plane surface and up to surface and up to plane both would be okay. Up to last is actually going to the last surface here. It's not going to show you that, but it's going here. If I had another surface out there to keep going through that part. Alright, but that works fine too. In fact, up to next, that works as well. If I had said up to dimension and had a length of 1 and said OK, it wouldn't know to grow with this. Okay, so again, if I go back to this sketch and I had changed this back to 1, see, that's not quite touching. I can double click this and I could go to a dimension and change that to, I think it's 3 inches. Oh, see, it went right through it. So I don't want to do that, because you can do that if that's what you wanted, but I don't want that. Let's go 1 3/4. Okay, see how that's going all the way through, and then if I change that to 1.5 inches, that's all good unless somebody wants to make a change. If somebody moves sketch 1 and alters that height to 2 inches, why didn't this know to follow? Because it's going by a distance of 1.5 inches. And that's why for this example, you could have used any one of these and it would have worked fine. I probably would have just went up to next, find the next available surface. It has to fully enclose on that surface. If it does, it'll stop there. Select OK. And why is my part still wrong? Have you thought about this yet? Why is this still not right? If I double click my sketch, I change this to 2.5. It seems to be right when we exit out. It seems to be following fine. When I change my sketch, well heck, let's make this equal to this to keep that part symmetrical. Uh-oh. We've got to remove this dimension and put on the constraint here and make that a 1/4 inch. Now this part's symmetrical. Let's exit out and watch what happens. What? Why did that happen? As an advanced user now, you got to start thinking when you make a second pad, you want to think of first and second limits. When we make just the one pad, you don't have any limits to think about. But once you start making additional features, you want to think about your start and finish. Yeah, it all worked fine until somebody revised the part. But that's rookie stuff, not knowing how to create your pad so that if someone were to make revisions, this would know to follow these inside walls. So on the first limit, we went up to next, but you have second limit, we didn't do anything to it. You want to do up to next as well, and the second limit goes in the opposite direction of the arrow. Select OK. So now no matter what I do to sketch 1, when I change this to 1 inch and exit out, it's going to know to shrink it. And if I change this back, if I change this back to 3 inches and exit out, it's going to know to grow in both directions. Okay, so when you make your snapshot, I want the tree expanded to see that there's the 2 sketches and that you have up to next in the pop-up window for both first and second limits. Alright, so your picture should look like this, showing me that you've recreated it and you are thinking about your first and second limit.